Alright, so I'm doing my last little filler. I switched to the red stuff because not only is it smaller at this point, which is what it's built for, but it's like $6 a tube instead of $185 a gallon. So I think we'll go in this direction because I feel like I'm using up all my filler. So yeah, I don't really know how much that filler and stuff like that's going to go. And man, it might just get eaten up, just because it's such huge sides that are probably wavy. Based on what I'm seeing, what I believe is from the factory on the side of the van is pretty filled. So, but in any case, got this going. The last thing I need to do is a little bit of cleanup around here. I was trying not to get stuff in the tank, so I left the gas level unit in there. And I'm sure it's a charm that you guys, you realize that I never say the right words, like, the gas leveler thingamajig. That's just my charm. It's not ignorance, it's charm, because my brain doesn't actually remember anything. It has a hard time recalling stuff. So, but in any case, I left that in there while I was doing everything else, just to keep it sealed, if you will. And so now that I had to unseal it to have the guy weld on the tank, I just need to go in there and do some final cleaning, and then last sanding, and then this thing's pretty much ready to go. These are the support beams that were inside the doghouse. So you have this beam, you have insulation on top of it, and then you have the inside of the doghouse lid. So these, we're going to be doing black on the inside of that lid, and I think orange on the outside of the lid. I just don't feel like doing orange on the inside of the lid because I figured it would look dirty from exhaust, oil, whatever, any kind of leakage or whatever going on. Normal operations of an engine. So that's going to be a little bit tricky, painting one half one way, one half the other, but should be possible. And so I'm going to make these black. And these things, I guess because of the moisture that's running under there, they're a little bit pitted here and there. One's obviously way better than the other. But I ran these through the vinegar, and man, that really cleaned these up a lot. So I got to do a dent, remove a lot of this one, straighten it out a little bit. And the one thing I will say about the vinegar, though, is when I pull it out, it looks amazing. I scratch off the rest, kind of clean it up a little bit, let it dry, rinse them, let them dry, and then over the next 24 hours, it kind of leaves like a little bit of a flash rust, which you could kind of see right there. So I don't have my formula perfectly down on the vinegar yet, but it definitely does a great job for cheap. So that's a good thing. So I think I just used some wax and grease remover on here just to kind of stop the process, and I also sanded them to kind of stop the process, give me a little bit more time, just because it's so humid out. And of course that's probably adding to it too. It hasn't been this humid since last year. So so that's kind of where we're at. I wish I could just go out of vinegar, clean it up, blah blah blah, bam bam bam, shoot, go. But man, it's just not happening that way. So, and that's kind of made me, go, okay, take your time, relax, don't get all freaked out about it. And when you get there, you get there. So I was hoping to kind of seal some of this stuff up this weekend, but looks like it's going to rain the next few days. So I'm just going to get this thing sanded and call it a day. All right, so we got everything really well. I'm having one spot that's just being a little finicky. It was a little too thick of red, so it wasn't drying. So I kind of carved it back out, and I'm gonna let this cure, and then I'm gonna put another skim on there. And I'm like, just move forward. I'm like, you know what? I'm not painting today. Like, just do it one more time. Just do it one more time. Or 2 times probably in this case, because it's pretty big dent. So yeah, that's where we're gonna end up today. It's just too humid, and the cicadas are too loud. And even though it doesn't look like rain right now, Arizona turns on a dime. Literally, it will turn on a dime and just come down, take you out. So we won't be able to shoot today. But we got everything ready, almost ready and ready. So all right, so we kind of ran out of paint, so we got 3 main panels painted, and then I got one side of these 2 panels, but I ran out of paint when I finished the 3rd panel. So 3rd panel I brought in, it's hanging up here, and put the other panel to replace it. And then we mixed up a new batch. So, and it's twice as much as the last time. Well, about 50% more than last time. I did 600 before. Now I'm doing 800. I have all these parts waiting, so I'm just going to spray, and then I'm going to interchange and you know, place up here temporarily. Yes, it is very close. Don't like that. But all my other stuff is kind of taken up, and over there is pretty good, but then I have to walk through here. So we'll see how it goes. But the goal here is to keep interchanging parts as I need to, and get this stuff on there. But what a process. And then I have to wait about 4 hours after this epoxy paint's on here before I could spray color. So, and then of course we're dealing with weather radar, weather, a little bit of humidity, clouds. You can see over there's a little bit of break where it's clear. So, and the clouds are going this way very slowly though. It's not breezy at all. You can see there's no breeze here. Usually it's a wind tunnel in here, so I'm glad I'm doing this in the morning. But you know I'm in a rogue situation here, but I always have my highest hopes when I go out there, and then I'm always disappointed in what I've done. The parts that I did, a few weeks ago, those came out actually perfect. I was thrilled with that. And then I'm like, I just need to apply that to this, and then it's freaking ready to rain, and I have no space to hang stuff, and I got this car here. So, it's going all right. It's not bad. I mean, that looks great. Don't get me wrong. But I'm trying to perfect, and I don't feel like I'm getting the perfect going, especially when I'm running out of paint in the middle of the panel. So, however, I'm going to be really, really stoked to kind of get this stuff done and out of here. Like, goodbye. So, yeah, and then I don't think I'm going to have leftover epoxy. But if I do, I've already gotten the grill ready, gotten the teardrops ready. In case I need to keep spraying, I will. And then these need to be sprayed in like a build primer. And then after that, chemical window, doesn't matter. Could sand and do whatever anytime. So it's all these other panels that pretty much I have to finish today because I'm not going to be here in a few days. And so, and it's raining the rest of the week. So it's just like, well, now or never. And if it starts raining, I'm kind of screwed, and means I have to respray this stuff later, which sucks. But do the chemical window. So it is what it is. Pieces are starting to look good. We got all our main pieces there. The window track pieces, those are just going to stay epoxy. Not going to paint them unless for some reason I need to paint them black. I'll just spray can it. But I just wanted them sealed so they don't rust. The rest of this is drying. I believe we are going to go straight to full black and clear on all this. And if I have enough epoxy primer left over, I'm going to hit this. I don't think I do. And over here we got just one coat on these, and you could see that, I don't know if there's milliliters here, but we're probably only 150. The thing I don't like about this is great that you could spray upside down, but as the thing collapses, you can't really tell how much paint you have left. You know, if you're going by milliliters and really watching what's going on. So that's a little difficult. But especially with the smaller ones, like it just collapses and you can't really tell what's going on. So I'm using more paint than I thought I would, but as I kind of go through the whole process and start calculating all the square footage, it makes sense. So not too bad. But we've probably gone through a half a gallon of actual epoxy primer, and that's, you know, before it's 1-to-1 ratio. So we've gone through a gallon of epoxy primer just doing parts so far. So we'll keep trucking on. I gotta let this dry for about a half an hour and then hit it again, and then we'll see if we could hit this or not. Weather's holding up right now, and you know, we're gonna start figuring out exactly how much of this we need to make. At this point, I'm probably gonna make a full batch, because we got to put 2 coats on all this stuff. So it's kind of interesting because I do have 2 guns, and I'm kind of thinking, like, is there any possibility that I could spray some black, then come back, spray clear, bring it in here, hang it up, bring the next pieces out, spray black, spray clear, bring it back up? That'd make it a lot easier. And I do have 2 guns, so we'll see what we're thinking here. We'll see what we're thinking. But that would really speed up the process, or at least make it less hazardous to bang something into the door as you're walking in or whatever. So we'll see.